Welcome back to Anything Outdoors with Steve. Today we are looking at the GoPro 13 in comparison to other previous models. This is not going to be an in-depth review on every function and feature of the GoPro 13, but the footage you're looking at right now is the 13's footage. So this is designed for people that have used the GoPro cameras before and have kind of a basic understanding of how they work and how they operate. So I've got all four cameras that I'm using today, which is going to be the GoPro 9, 11, 12, and the 13. And we're comparing the footage between all of them. The GoPro 9 is using an 8-bit color. From the GoPro 11 on, it uses 10-bit color, and the difference, if you're curious, is 16 million colors for 8-bit versus 1 billion colors for 10-bit. This video is focusing on the 13 as being the newest model available currently, and we will make that comparison. And I don't know how these are going to line out. It might be that maybe the 11 is the best as far as the video looks. I really don't know until I get this in post-production, so we'll make that determination later. We don't make a whole lot of gear review videos, so if you like this format, or if you have any suggestions, or if you hate it, let me know in the comments. We do use these GoPro cameras a lot just because of their lightweight factor. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, so we can carry multiple cameras with us and not be weighed down by extra batteries and camera gear. So it makes a big difference for us being backpackers. Getting around with lighter gear makes a big difference. New functions on the 13, and one that was brought back is the GPS mode, which was missing from the GoPro 12. Was included on the 11, now available on the 13 again. One thing that was changed on the 12 as well is the ability to access the menu functions, which can only be accessed from the GoPro Quick app. Those functions are now back available on the main screen of the GoPro, so you can make the changes without having to access your phone. So we just want good color renditions. We want to see if this is getting blazed out or anything weird with the sunlight filtering through. They kept the case size the same between all four of these, the GoPro 9, 10, 11, 12s. That way all your peripherals, GoPro mods, underwater case will be functional on all four cameras. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of winter here, so we don't have a whole lot of green coming up on the ground yet. No flowers popping up yet, and everything looks dead and dreary. So this is not going to be your best color comparison, but you kind of get an idea with the dynamic range available between all four cameras as we're entering through filtered light, white snow, the greenery that is existing with the trees, how it reflects off the needles. So you kind of get an idea of how these function and the image quality between all four. And keep in mind, the GoPro 9 is the only one with 8-bit color out of these four cameras. The skies appear kind of dreary, but they are a light bluebird color. Appear kind of dreary, but they are a light bluebird color. The skies appear kind of dreary, but they are a light bluebird color. The skies appear kind of dreary, but they are a light bluebird color. And another thing that we need to look at is how well the camera focuses up close without that macro mod. So I'm going to get up close within about 6 inches on some moss right here. Then we'll slowly back away. My post-production is not going to include any color changes or any filters added. This is going to be just what the camera sees. These are currently set for vivid on color. All of these except for the GoPro 9 are set for high bitrate and 10-bit color. The 9 is set for high bitrate as well, but it doesn't have the 10-bit color available. Since this is digital stability using the image as a stabilization, it's not the same as a gimbal, but they function pretty well. So I'm going to do a quick run through, and so these cameras will be hopping up and down a little bit as I'm running through. So here we go. It's going to be rattly sounding. All right, and we're running. I might slip and fall and get all muddy too. Bonus. Bonus. Ooh, yeah, I almost lost it. Ooh, yeah, I almost lost it. Bonus. Ooh, yeah, I almost lost it. Ooh, yeah, I almost lost it. All right. Here we go. Among this and the low light sampling and night shots. Now I'm pretty certain the GoPro 8 is going to be the best for night lapse mode, but we've got a comparison for all 4 of these. Here we're looking at 2 different side-by-sides for the night shot. You've got cloud cover and then a starry night. So this is GoPro 8 on the left and GoPro 11 on the right. As you can see, the GoPro 8 appears much brighter. It might have some noise in the background. And here's the 12 on the left, 13 for the cloud cover. And again, we're going to look at the starry night here in a second. These are all in +2 EV comp, and it's just a standard night lapse. The 13 does appear to do a lot better than what the 12 did. It's still not quite as bright as the GoPro 8. So if your interest is in night shots, for just night lapse, GoPro 8 is definitely the way to go as far as a brighter image. As you see here, the GoPro 8 stars appear brighter on a brighter sky, but the GoPro 13 here, the image appears more clean and clear. Now this is just the night lapse version. The 11, 12, and 13 all have star trails function, which gives you the spinning effect of the stars. I'm not showing that here for all 4 cameras. But the 11 and 12 and 13 have very similar capabilities as far as the star trails go. This is our low light test between the 12, 11, and 13. This is getting pretty dark. We've got a nice little cloud cover on everything. You know, between low light and cloud cover, the GoPro's weakness is low light. They use image sampling for stabilization, and this is where the stabilization starts falling apart. You get a lot of vibration, especially with each step that you're taking, and it really does fall apart when you start getting into the low light conditions. So what we've got behind us is just a foggy lake with some geese. Is just a foggy lake with some geese. Is just a foggy lake with some geese in the background. So I've got all 3 of these GoPros running at the same time, so that way we can actually sample the images between them. The purpose of this is whether or not the GoPro 13 is a worthwhile investment. Looking at the front display screens, it appears as though the 11 has the brightest image. Each GoPro has an inherent pro and con. It does appear as though the 11's display screen, at least on the display, shows a much brighter image than both the 12 and 13. And the reason I like the 11 is because I tend to do an inverted image often, where I'll take the camera and I will flip it upside down like this, all in one motion. It tends to keep that image upright, which makes it a lot easier for editing. Got some geese rolling up, and I'm not even sure you can even see them on any of these cameras. There they go for flight. Right now we've got some geese rolling up, and I'm not even sure you can even see them on any of these cameras. There they go for flight. So this is our low light and stabilization. All three have horizontal lock on, linear image. I've got, oh, they're actually standing on the ice. That's awesome. That's kind of cool. I might make my way over to that dock, see if I can get closer to them. This is just holding the cameras outright, walking along. So there'll be some vibration on this, and you can kind of see what the stabilization does. Being an image sampling stabilization like this, it tends to start to fall apart when you get into the low light conditions. My standard operating procedure is whenever I go low light, I tend to bump up the EV comp to +1, +2, and that helps a lot. Having a light in the background like this helps a lot. And I'm also going to be doing some night shots as well, just to see what they do, you know, as far as night shot goes. So far in my experience, the GoPro 8 does the best just standard night shot, where I think the 11, 12, and 13 will have a star trail setting. The star trails makes a pretty cool little shot. Each one overlooking the lake. Slow pano. Nice fog cover. In the rain, low light conditions. Some noisy little geese. And we will just run down the dock without falling into the water, hopefully. All right, here we go. Just trying to hold these upright as much as possible, but they are jiggling around quite a bit. And losing the backpack. There we go. There we go. Backpack over the shoulder again. I knew I was running low on light. My plan was to actually hit the woods. Backpack over the shoulder again. I knew I was running low on light. My plan was to actually hit the woods. Backpack over the shoulder again. I knew I was running low on light. My plan was to actually hit the woods, but I don't believe I've got enough light left. And doing completely black image is not going to be helpful for anybody. All right, GoPro 9 in the mix. The GoPro 9 has more of a blue color, at least on the screen that I'm seeing. And of course, I just realized all of them are gonna have rain drips on the screens. So that's not gonna help much, but it gives a good idea as far as what we're looking at. Okay. I can't run with the 9 out. It's just in a little friction clamp. It'll fall right out and probably, my luck, fall in the water. This gives a good idea though. Yeah, on the GoPro everything is black.
Yeah.
There's Patrick in the water. What a nut. Yeah, that's all I see is just your hands and head.
Yeah.
Everything else below water. There's a glow, just a light glow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, trapping some heat around you. That's what it's doing. It's warming up the water a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder if they can make it to where...
Anything Outdoors with Steve is lobbing in a new vehicle, and it's not from Channel Success. Here is a bright metallic red. Okay, I'm showing the inversion shot for the 11. With this comparison shot, we've got sunlight filtering through the trees and the brush. We've got the GoPro 9 on the left and the GoPro 11 on the right. I kind of like the way the GoPro 11 picks up the flares. You get kind of little rainbow effects here and there. This is a straight on view looking into the sun, and we've got 4 different views that we do here. The next one is going to be a 45-degree angle. You can kind of see where the GoPro 11 really does a lot better than the GoPro 9. And then 45. The coloration is a lot better here, and it just filters through a lot better. And then we spin around, and this is looking away from the sun. I kind of like the way the GoPro 9 flares out the sun like that, but the 11 is actually handling the light contrast better. And then here we've got the GoPro 12 and the GoPro 13. And I think the GoPro 13 really does do a lot better on all of this by comparison. So the 13 is got a lot better color saturation here. It handles the light better. I like the way the starburst around the sun looks. And it seems like the GoPro 13 is handling this type of filtered light shot much better than the others by comparison. The greater dynamic range brings out the details that are typically washed out. 45. In the 180-degree view from the sun, you can see the 13 has much better details and balances the light better than the others. And reverse. On this 180-degree view from the sun, you can see that the 13 has better details and balances the light better than the others. For certain shots, the oversaturated light of the GoPro 9 may be more desirable of a clip as a halo effect where you want to drown out the details. Even comparing this GoPro 12 shot to the GoPro 13 here, you can actually see the difference between the two where the 13 is much better. Well, hopefully I've done well in giving a good comparison shot between all 4 of these cameras, so you've got an idea of how well each one functions and how well the color renditions and dynamic range of each camera functions. I'm hoping the 13 has a better dynamic range than some of these others, but again, I won't know until I get post-production on these. So what do you think? Is the GoPro 13's footage fundamentally better and worth the purchase? I don't know just yet. I will tell you if we've got a new 13 in hand. This camera is currently borrowed from a coworker, and I'm just taking a quick look at it just to determine whether or not we'll be incorporating this camera in with the rest of our mix. This camera does have a new battery system, so that means upgrading all my batteries again too, and carrying a whole nother set of batteries, because I'm currently already carrying for the 8, the 9 on, I'll use the same battery. If you like this format of video, let me know in the comments below. We'll make some more videos just like this. We've got lots of gear that we've tested over the years, And some of the stuff has excellent products that we stand by fully, others not so good, that aren't even worth wasting your time and money on. So be sure to let me know in the comments. If you hate this, let me know too. And all of it is helpful, even if you hate it. If you say you can't stand my face and the way I sound, it's still helpful. So thanks for leaving a comment. Give me a thumbs up. It all helps in the algorithms. Helps support us to become a little bit bigger channel. What I should be doing is comparing the GoPro footage to the cell phone. So here's a quick image of the cell phone in the same snowscape. Almost appears as though the cell phone does a better job than the GoPros. That's the Samsung Galaxy 22 Ultra. The cameras on these Galaxy phones are phenomenal. We're bringing a Galaxy 25 to Patagonia. That might be our backup video for certain scenes. It's amazing what these tiny little cameras can do compared to 20 years ago. It's just phenomenal. I mean, I would never expect to be having a small format camera like this and then have the capability of hours of recording. I mean, this battery will last almost 2 hours. It's pretty phenomenal. 5.3K. It's just amazing to me what these cameras are capable of. But anyways, signing out. Here we go. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's find our way out of here. There we go. This is kind of an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever noticed before. A little weird.